here, come here. Don't be shy. Good evening, everyone. How are you guys doing?
Great.
Good to hear. Thank you so much for being here tonight. And thank you to the organizers of this event. I know there's a magnitude of planning and effort that went into it that we don't see, so thank you so much. Let's give a big round of applause for them. It is truly an honor to stand before a room of powerful women and allies who understand the limitless potential of women, not only in our communities, but everywhere. Before I truly get started, I would like to provide some clarification for my speech. If you hear me refer to the woman in the room, I misread the agenda. I thought it said indoors, not outdoors, so let's pretend there's 4 walls here. When I think about women's empowerment, I think about the women who came before me. The ones whose stories weren't always heard or didn't always make headlines, but whose strength and relentless perseverance changed the course of generations. I want to start with my grandmother. Raised in Mexico, she was a mother to 10 children. And while many like to confine her to that alone, she refused to let that limit her. She knew that the life that she wanted to live could mean more than what others expected of her. With incredible courage, she made the decision to move to the United States in search of a better future for her daughters. She didn't speak English, she didn't have a roadmap or a guide, she didn't have anything more than a 3rd grade education. But she did have an unremarkable sense of purpose. After years as a stay-at-home mom, she entered the workforce for the first time in a completely new country, navigating a new language, a new culture, new systems and expectations, all while raising her children. She even faced criticism from her own church community for choosing to work outside the home because they believed that her decision to support her family went against her faith. But she chose to rise above that judgment, knowing that sometimes love looks like labor, and that unrelentless devotion in providing for your children is the deepest form of love. Her courage and her resilience built a foundation that made everything that came after her possible. A foundation that, after her passing in 2023, after a long battle with Alzheimer's, dementia, Parkinson's, still holds strong. Because of her strength, my mother was able to dream even bigger. My mother, one of 10 siblings, broke a cycle that defined many that came before her. She was the first in her family to graduate from both high school, college, and eventually went on to earn multiple graduate degrees. But she did not get there easily. She grew up under the poverty line, working her way through school with very little support and in a world that often underestimated her abilities. And when it came her time to become a mother, she gave me the same gift that her grandmother gave her: sacrifice, rooted in love. My mother, to this day, commutes over an hour each way to make sure I have access to opportunities that she never did. She supports me through every academic and leadership pursuit, even when it means long days and sleepless nights. And despite her very deep and very well-known hate of LAX traffic, she still somehow manages to get me there each time, with snacks packed, bags checked, and a prayer whispered underneath her breath. That is the kind of woman my mother is. It was because of her that I was able to become the 2nd woman in my mother's family to walk across that stage, graduating high school at 15. It was because of her that I had the support to step into leadership roles, to advocate for change, and to be appointed this January by Governor Gavin Newsom to the California Community College Board of Governors. Thank you. Her belief in me, and the belief in her from the woman that came before her, paved the way for the work that I have done in voter engagement that has been recognized by the California Secretary of State. But none of that came from individual luck. It came from intergenerational resilience. It came from the resilience of women who led movements all outside of my family as well. Because alongside the sacrifices of the women in my family are the legacies of the women who fought for rights who are often taken for granted today. Feminists who changed the system, who demanded to be heard, who marched and wrote and organized so women could vote, could learn, and could lead. And especially women of color who have often been overlooked, but regardless have stayed at the forefront of these movements. Women who have fought not just for gender equality, but for racial justice. Women who pushed open doors they were never meant to walk through so that others can follow. Because of them, I have been able to step into spaces where women of color are not expected. I have had the chance to sit at tables and speak in rooms where people like me, daughters of immigrants, daughters of working class families, are often left out of the conversation. And I don't take that lightly. I know I carry all of them with me. I know that I am because they were. Today, I am not walking this journey alone. I am held by every single powerful community of women, my mentors, my fellow student advocates, the women I serve with and associated students like Sydney, the women on this campus, the women veterans who dedicated their lives to this country and came to Cypress to dedicate their lives to uplifting and empowering the women in this community. These are the women who lead with purpose, who show up without asking for credit, although credit is very nice, to be clear, and who remind me every day that success is most powerful when shared. And now it is my turn to pay it forward. I hope the work that I continue to do, rooted in advocacy, access, and justice, creates more pathways for young women who have been told to wait their turn, especially for girls like me, daughters of immigrants, daughters of working class women, daughters of women who have had to carry it all. I want them to know that they are seen, that they have power, and that they belong in every room where decisions are made. Every policy I fight for, every table I sit at, every speech I give, I do with my grandmothers, my mothers, and every single woman in this room's legacy in mind, and the next generation in heart. And to the women in this room today, thank you. Thank you for being here, for showing up, for your extended commitment to the communities, to building on the legacies of generations who have fought for us to have opportunities that they were never afforded. Let my story, my mother's story, my grandmother's story, and the story of every woman standing beside you today be proof that you are more than your circumstances. You are the legacy of every woman that came before you, and you are the beginning of something greater. Thank you.
Okay, and now I get my moral support as well. Well, hello everyone, and thank you.